Hello everybody, how's it going? I hope you're all having a fantastic day and welcome to another Disney Cars review. So today we have a little change of pace because we're reviewing something from the Disney Store. I usually only review Mattel products, but the Disney Store, they just released all of their Cars 3 merchandise. So super exciting. I was really happy about that. I believe the official release date was April 17th, which was a Monday, and coincidentally, that's exactly 2 weeks before the official release date for all of the Mattel stuff in stores. Now yes, I know a lot of people have been finding all of the Cars 3 stuff early, but me, nope, I haven't found any of the Cars 3 Mattel diecast early, so I was super happy when the Disney Store released all of their stuff because I had an opportunity to get some Cars 3 diecast besides from friends, online, or eBay. You guys know what I'm talking about. So, here we have a 5-pack today. It doesn't really have a title, but we can see a bunch of awesome and new cars inside. Sterling, Rookie Racers, Lightning McQueen, Cruz Ramirez, and Rookie Racers again. Don't ask me. I have no idea why the Disney Store did not name these two guys, but I already decided some names for them. John, Pedro. Alright guys, that's what we're going to call them. I'm going to call them John and Pedro because I don't want to call them blue, I don't want to call them orange, and I don't want to call them by their numbers because yeah, they do have numbers, but I don't know why they just have such generic names. But anyway, this is one of the products that you can get at the Disney Store, and you can get them online as well, but you do have to pay for shipping, which is a little unfortunate. Some other items I will be reviewing in the future are in the background there. You have Jackson Storm Semi, Miss Fritter, another 5-pack of the Demolition Derby cars. We have some singles like Dan Swervez here, Tim Treadless, and I also bought Jackson Storm. There are a couple other items I would have liked to purchase like the Cruz Ramirez and Chick Hicks 2-pack, but my Disney Store did not have them available unfortunately. But I believe that's all for the introduction of this video, and now let's dive right into the review of this awesome pack. I mean, I don't really know much about these Rookie Racers, aka John and Pedro, because I mean, we haven't seen them in any trailers. Mattel doesn't have their versions yet available, so it's really a mystery. I'll try to speculate a little bit about them based on this thing right here. Welcome to the Rust-Eze Training Center. So that's kind of interesting right there. And they also have some decals on either side of them that kind of indicate some things that we might be able to draw some conclusions on. But I won't talk about that until we open them up. So the side of the box here just says Cars 3. The back has a window so you can see the back of the diecast there. It is $30 in the United States. Looks to be $38 in Canada. On the bottom here is completely black. I like the elegant, simple design they're going with for the Disney Store packaging. I really do like it because, I don't know, it draws more attention to the Cars 3 stuff, at least in my opinion. And it seems like Mattel is going that way too, with the nice, simple Cars 3 design. I actually really like it, even though we don't see the characters' art right there. And just to get this off the table, because I'm sure there will be some questions, the Disney Store and Mattel are two completely different brands. You know, the Disney Store has their versions of cars, and Mattel has their versions. So, I have the Mattel version of Cars 3 McQueen and Cruz Ramirez that I will do comparisons to when I open them up. I don't have Sterling yet, so we'll just have to stick with the Disney Store version for now. But yeah, two completely different companies, so don't think that this is somehow Mattel. I don't know. I feel like by saying it's the Disney Store, some people get confused because, you know, it's Disney Cars, Mattel. Whatever, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? If you have any questions, just feel free to comment them in the comment section below because I will try my best to answer. I usually reply to most of my comments like the immediate time after I upload the video, and then I try to come back to it as well. But anyway, that's enough talk. Let's rip into this package and hope it doesn't take an hour to get all the cars unscrewed. Perhaps, if they're screwed in there. Fingers crossed that they're tied. Okay, so they're not really screwed and they're definitely not tied. So check this out. This looks like a new style of, I guess, attaching the cars to the package for the Disney Store. I haven't seen this used yet at all, but I actually really like it. They're kind of like little twist tab things. Basically, you want to turn this to the left until it kind of pops out. It's very, very strange. Like, see, it got loose there, and then you pull it out. It's kind of like a little twisty tab thing that attaches to the underside of the car. So let's do the same for this here. This will be McQueen that pops out. I already did 2 over here just to try it. And then I'm not going to show the rest of them because that would be very tedious and boring. But I just want to show you guys, just so you guys know if you buy this pack and are confused on how to open it, because I was a little confused at the start. I was like, what do I do with this? Do I get a screwdriver? This one seems to be a little bit tighter. Some are tighter than others, which, you know, it's okay. Just gotta go at it for a little bit longer. Please. Alright, come on. It's coming. I know it's coming. You might want to try to pull it too. A little pull, perhaps. Well, let's talk about something, guys, while this just keeps on spinning. I'm recording this Saturday, April 22nd. Tomorrow is April 23rd, Sunday. I'm going to the Road to Races event. I heard that'll be like a 2-hour wait, so that'll be fun. Oh, I'm worried. I don't want to wait that long, but I do want to see the clip. Oh my god, alright. You know what? Sorry guys, this might have to be done off screen because clearly Lightning McQueen does not want to budge. Alright, so finally I got McQueen out of the package. He was definitely the most difficult, but other than that, I really actually like this new style for attaching the cars to the package because sometimes the screws were super tight and yeah, it was just never fun. That was actually not too bad. So let's dive into the review now. We'll start with McQueen because he's the most boring in my opinion. And that's how I always do it based on my boring scale. So let's take the others out of the picture for now. So this is the basic McQueen. I really wish that this pack included the McQueen with the new Rust-Eze designs because there's actually a single of that. And that's actually in a 3-pack with Bobby Swift and Cal Weathers. But I didn't buy those. I bought this instead. I mean, I was already up to like $120. That was insane. But I actually don't really care for this paint job that much, especially when you put it, you know, alongside the other paint jobs that we've seen, like the training one, the other Rust-Eze one that I'm talking about, and the gray one that we've seen. So a lot of cool paint jobs for McQueen for Cars 3. This is not one of them. And we have the Mattel one here side by side. Basically, you have the Rust-Eze logo. Cool expression. The Disney Store tends to have some difficulty with expressions. This time, I think they did a good job. Piston Cup, Octane Gain, RPM, Revolting, Clutch 8 are the contingency sponsors. I like how detailed the rims are. You can see the silver detailing in there. That's a great touch. Of course, we have the number 95 Lightning Bolt Flame design along with the gas cap, the signature of Lightning McQueen, and the typical details that we all know and love that have been with us for around 11 years. I mean, this version is really not that much different from the original version from Cars 1. You can see on the base here that it is put together using screws. Other than that, there's not much on the base besides little things that they use to attach the car to the packaging. Alright, so in comparison to the Disney Store version from Cars 1 McQueen here, it looks like they stuck with the same casting model, but I may be wrong. If I am wrong, that's really only a slight difference because I can't really see anything too noticeable. You just have some slight differences in the decals. As I pointed out, really, the decals have remained the same. You know, now you have the bolt with the flames. Before, it was really only the bolt. He had a lot more contingency sponsors there. He always had his gas cap there and the Rust-Eze logo. The Rust-Eze logo got a little bit lighter over the years. He had his yellow rookie stripe right there. And that's pretty much it. I want to briefly compare him to the World Grand Prix McQueen from the Disney Store. Again, Looks like they stuck with the same model. Of course, it's technically different though because the spoiler is different. And they are quite a bit different, as to be expected, although the bolt flame designs are almost identical there, which makes sense though, because before Cars 2 he didn't have the flames, he got them in Cars 2 and he decided to keep them for Cars 3 in his future paint job. So that's pretty much it for McQueen. I guess we should compare him a little bit more to the Mattel version, even though they're pretty much the same exact decals, a little bit brighter on the Mattel version. Obviously the scale is different. If you guys don't know, the Disney Store operates with a 143 scale, and Mattel operates with 154. And if you guys have Hot Wheels laying around, those are 164. Actually, my bad. I actually meant to say the Mattel ones are 155. Sorry, too many numbers on a Saturday night. Yeah, it just doesn't go well. No math. No math over the weekend, even though probably after this I'm going to do my math homework. It's what you gotta do, right guys? Alright, Cruz Ramirez. Don't really have many other cars to compare her to besides the Mattel version, but she looks awesome. Actually, one complaint I do have about this is that, you know, the Disney Store always kind of struggles with decals, and it looks like the tire is just churning up this decal right here. It looks like it kind of went over onto the tire a little bit, or it was just kind of off the body, I guess you could say, and so it looks pretty bad right there. It looks kind of like torn up, but whatever. We're going to focus on the positive because positive is always better. I like the expression for Cruz. Looks very nice. Of course, she has her Rust-Eze Racing Center 95 logo here. It says Rust-Eze Racing Center and Team 95. So let's get an up-close look at that. Very cool. There's the gas cap. On the back here, her license plate number reads C01-06A. Now this number actually has a lot of significance because CA stands for Cristela Alonso, who is the actress playing Cruz Ramirez in Cars 3, and 01-06 stands for January 1st, which is Cristela Alonso's birthday. Very, very cool there. And above the number, it says Tax Gas, which is a carification of the United States state taxes. So very cool there as well. A+ license plate number. And here's the base. Nothing much really to add on for her in comparison to the Mattel version here. I love the Mattel version a lot. I always usually prefer Mattel versions over Disney Store versions, but I will be doing a series on my channel in the future, or at least I hope so, that compares Disney Store releases in depth to Mattel releases, and by the end of the video, we'll decide which one is better. I'll host a poll, and you guys can vote as well. It'll be a lot of fun. I just need to get around to doing it and get some good ideas for ones to do. Alright, moving on to a new character now. Well, Cruz is a new character, but this is a brand new character for me because I don't even have the Mattel version yet. Sterling, so he'll be played by Nathan Fillion. Yep, that's the name, Nathan Fillion in Cars 3, and he might be somewhat of an antagonist. He's the owner of the Rust-Eze Training Center, which of course lends itself to the racers that we'll be getting to in a couple moments here. And yeah, I think that he'll want McQueen to retire because he's not bringing in the money that Sterling wants, because I know there was a description released for him and it said that he wants to get the return on his investment. So that's definitely a clear indicator that he's really in it for the money. But anyways, the expression is okay, not the best, not as good as McQueen's, but still not terrible. It looks like there's a Cadillac logo there on the grill, and I just absolutely love the shiny metallic grill there. It looks awesome, and it really goes with Sterling, his name. I mean, the whole body does because he's gray, and it's kind of a metallic gray. You can kind of see the sparkle there, so very, very cool. I like the really wire rim-like rims. Very cool. Now, I think on the Mattel version, that says Sterling. You can just barely see a red S. But on the Mattel version, it's a little bit more detailed, and it says Sterling going across there because he is apparently full of himself and wants his name on his car there, I guess. Same thing on the license plate here. Again, I love the back. I don't know what this is called, but it is Sterling. Sterling is Sterling, all right. His license plate number is Stir Ling. And let's see if there's anything around it. Oh my God, he's from Illinois. That's my state. It's Illinois. So it's like Illin and then oil. Again, another carified state. And Miss Fritter, you know how she has all those license plates wrapped around her? Well, all of them are carified. So that's awesome. And this is one of those. It looks like we have Sterling over here as well. The red S, his logo. Here's the base. Wow, I'm really happy he's from my state. That's cool. So yeah, kind of a cool car. Can't wait to get the Mattel version. Just so you guys know, by the way, the Mattel version is being released as a single and in a 2-pack. So if you already have Cruz Ramirez, which, you know, it's coming out first and 2-pack and then as a single. So don't feel like you have to buy the 2-pack to get Sterling. That was random, but I wanted to let you guys know. Alright, we have John here. And now John is the same exact model as the Disney Store Daniel Suarez. I can say that with almost 100% certainty. If you look at the spoilers, everything is the same, just different paint jobs. And when we get to Pedro, he is the same model as Tim Treadless. So they're already repainting the next gens for the Disney Store. And like I talked about in my Daniel Suarez review the other day, which actually, that was yesterday, I talked about how Mattel will most likely do the same in the future. So he is all gray with some blue highlights. His rims are blue. It says Rust-Eze Racing Center there in red. And he is number 49. I like the blue gas cap there. He has roof flaps. Nice spoiler. On the back, he is 49 again, a little bit bigger. And here's the base. That's pretty much it. And yeah, it's kind of weird. And by the way, he also has the same expression as Danny Suarez, which is a little bit disappointing. You know, I can kind of understand being the same model as a character, but same expression, not much of a fan of. But still, I like this pack. I like these two guys because they hold a lot of mystery right now. I don't know, I guess they are students at the Rust-Eze Racing Center. A lot of people have been asking me recently, RC, do you think we'll see a next generation Rust-Eze racer in Cars 3? I never really know what to reply because I don't know, but I think this is the closest thing we'll get to that. I don't think we'll ever see a full-blown next-gen Rust-Eze racer because that would definitely be a huge villain for McQueen, and we already know that McQueen has his plate full with Jackson Storm and probably even Sterling as well. So that's just my opinion. I think these are actually pretty close to a next-gen Rust-Eze racer because think about it. They're students training at this Rust-Eze facility to become piston cut racers most likely, or possibly if they're lucky become the sponsored Rust-Eze racer, and then that would be the next gen Rust-Eze racer after McQueen if he retires, which we don't really know just yet. So a lot of questions. That's pretty much all the speculating I'll do in this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. They kind of remind me of the Video Game Racing Academy students from Doc Hudson's school and Chip Hicks's as well because they're very generic, not much individuality or unique things about them, which is kind of unfortunate, but I'm sure they're accurate to the movie. So here's Pedro. He's pretty much the same thing again. He has the same model, same expression as Tim Treadless, who is the next-gen Nitrate racer. He has orange highlights instead of blue, and he is number 3. There are his exhaust pipes. Very cool. I like him, even though he's generic, but I just kind of am very curious as to what's going to happen with these guys in the movie. So that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. My first Cars 3 Disney Store review. I think that this 5-pack is definitely worth picking up because you get 2 cars that Mattel, they're probably not going to make these, at least for a while. I mean, we haven't seen them yet, and they don't seem to be main characters, and Mattel usually goes with main characters first. And so hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys next time for another video. Let's get a group shot in here. Oh, of course. Which one of these cars in this pack is your favorite? I think, I don't know. I like Sterling and I like John. I like those the best. But this is kind of, I don't know, kind of a weird pack because you have 2 main characters that I don't really would put those in my favorites because, you know, they're so generic and so, you know, overrated, I guess you could say, but they're still cool. Don't get me wrong about that. But anyways, thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys next time for another video. Bye now.